Aloha, my name is Scott Spallina from the Elder Abuse Unit at the Prosecutor's Office. And today we're going to be talking about elder abuse. We're not talking about a crime that's happening on the mainland, but we're talking about crimes that are happening right here in the state of Hawaii. My name, again, is Scott Spallina, and I've been with the Prosecutor's Office now for 25 years. And in those 25 years, I created the Elder Abuse Unit, and I'm in charge of the Elder Abuse Unit. And what we're going to do today, before we get started, is give you the legal disclaimer. I'm a lawyer, so basically all this disclaimer says is what I say today, don't hold it against my boss, please. Okay, now is elder abuse a problem? Well, if you've been watching the news and paying attention, you'll see that it is. A great many of you have seen this video in the past months, if not last year. This happened in Chinatown in Honolulu, Hawaii. And if you take a look at the gentleman in the black, he's basically casing or eyeing up the elderly man at the counter. Again, this is in broad daylight. And that was the crime right there. Now, incidentally, this is not the first time this gentleman had done that. We have actually another case pending against the same guy who did it to an elderly woman in Chinatown only a couple months prior to that. But that's not alone though. People think when I say elder abuse, that's the only crime happening. There's other crimes that are happening. Take a look at the guy with the dog. The elderly victim had his bus pass ready, had his wallet open, and all the guy did with the dog is walk on by and grab it and then walk away. Or this case here of Katie Stereo. She's one of my favorite criminals. What she'll do in this case here is she'll enter the home of strangers, this elderly kapuna couple, and basically she will hug them. That's how she gains entrance into the house, with a smile and a hug. And she walks right into the house pretending that she knows these elderly people, and accomplice will be coming in momentarily to distract the elderly couple. And it's coincidentally, the accomplice in this case is her husband. She says to the elderly woman, "Oh, here's my brother, you remember my brother." In actuality, they're married. And he'll come in, he'll take the elderly couple to the back part of the house, and then Miss Stereo will go ahead and go through the woman's purse. Now, the reason I know Miss Stereo so well is because when she committed this crime, she was on probation for another case. In that case, she stole $134,000 from a gentleman that she had just met 3 days earlier. Elder abuse is on the rise. In the past several years, we have seen over a 300% increase. This chart here shows you when we first began the unit to a couple months ago. It has not gone down. You see dips, but after every dip, you see the peak, and the peak goes higher and higher and higher. Elder abuse is a crime. Compared to these numbers from January of 2019 to just this year, January, you see the increase in our property crimes. These are cases on our docket at that time. These are trial cases that we had. If we took a snapshot of the cases we were taking to court, these are the cases that we had. Compare the jump in the property crimes. Financial crimes, and violent crimes. Over 100% increase in violent crimes in just a year's time. And if you look back last year, what was happening? You had a rash of criminals targeting elders on the street. This case here happened in broad daylight, 2 o'clock, Ala Moana Shopping Center. A gentleman was walking through the parking lot when the defendant came up to him, punched him in the face, knocked him down, grabbed his wallet. Unfortunately, the gentleman later died because of head contusions. This case here, you had a senior who was making extra income as a driver for an armored car, and he was overpowered by the suspect as he was getting money from the McDonald's. Or this, you had two elderly women working at night at a 7-Eleven, and this gentleman here brandished a handgun, ran inside, jumped over the counter, and robbed them. Again, these are crimes happening here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Gentleman waiting for his wife, who is a caregiver. He was in the car when a suspect drove up. Someone hopped out of the passenger seat and threatened him, knocked him out of the car, and took his car. There was a rash of crimes happening prior to the pandemic that we're now experiencing. This gentleman here, what happened to him is he was told that he won the lottery. And he was so convinced that he won the lottery that in one weekend, he maxed out all his credit cards to buy gift cards totaling over $60,000 and gave the numbers of those gift cards to the scam artist. And this woman here, she was shopping at Sam's Club. Someone grabbed her purse, but unfortunately she did not let go of the purse, and she was dragged as the car pulled away with her purse. Far too often we're seeing our victims give interviews to the media in hospital beds, and this is one of them. Again, we're seeing purse snatching after purse snatching after purse snatching. The only good thing about this pandemic that we're going through right now is that it kept seniors off the streets. And once seniors stopped going off on the streets, then we actually did see a dip in crime. However, nowadays, with everybody being able to go back on the street wearing masks, we are now seeing that increase in crime happening again. We can go on and on and on about purse snatchings, about crimes going on against our seniors. Unfortunately, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Not every crime that we see on my desk is reported to the police. Only about 1 in 25 cases are reported to the police. Oftentimes, when someone is a victim of a crime, especially a senior, they're very embarrassed about it. I've gotten calls repeatedly on my office phone where people are saying, Scott, my daughter stole money from me. And I say, how much? $200,000. Okay, that's a good case. Let's go ahead and arrest her and force her to pay. No. I don't want to arrest my daughter. I just want you to give me $200,000 back. And a lot of people don't understand you can't do one without the other, especially when it comes to children. A lot of parents are embarrassed. They don't want to get their children in trouble, and yet they are victimized repeatedly, not only financially, but also physically by their children. Another thing is that you have strangers victimizing seniors. And you have seniors reluctant to tell anybody. Because what are you going to tell your adult daughter or adult son? Oh, guess what? I lost $10,000 to this scam artist. I lost $20,000 to this scam artist. I had this one lady come in with an attorney friend of mine. She had lost $160,000 on a scam. She came to my office first because she wanted to see if there's anything I could do to get her money back, because she had not told her husband that she went through his retirement fund for this scam. As a senior, people want to maintain their independence. They want to still have that leadership family type of role that they've built with their children. And to go in front of your adult children and say, Dad screwed up, Mom can't be trusted with the finances, whatever, then adults are so afraid of losing their independence. Adults are so afraid of being embarrassed in front of their children, so oftentimes they will write it off. And we are talking about significant sums of money. I had this one adult female tell me that her dad had lost $400,000 to this pair of gentlemen that befriended him over a period of several months and were allegedly doing housework for him, like rebuilding the roof. No work was ever done, and they kept on taking him to the bank, kept on taking him to the bank, kept on taking him to the bank until where he was $400,000 poor. But he did not want to tell the daughter. She found out happenstance, and he did not want to make a police report because he was so afraid of what's the neighbors going to think. What's the neighbors going to think? These are some of the explanations as to why the cases that we see before us are only a drop in the bucket of what's actually happening out there. Why are seniors being targeted? Well, the longer you live, the more stuff you have. It's that easy. And you have seniors that are homeowners. And the first thing you get when you get a mortgage is you get junk mail. You get everybody trying to take equity out of your house, whether it be reverse mortgages, whether it be equity loans, whether it be all these sorts of things to say, we can help you get money to spend. You deserve a vacation of a lifetime. You deserve to make these investments. You deserve. It's so easy now. There's so many mechanisms for you to borrow against your house. And again, the longer you live, the more stuff you have. We're talking about jewelry. We're talking about fine things, electronics that people have saved up for their entire life to get that some criminal feels they deserve right away. Additionally, seniors are viewed as being lonely. And because a person is lonely, they will make judgment calls that are questionable. They will allow somebody to come into their house that they do not know because they are lonely. They will allow salesmen to come into their house and sell them a $4,000 vacuum cleaner because they are lonely. They will be on the phone for hours with strangers because that stranger will listen to them. And in listening to them, they will build up this bond. And it's so frustrating for the families of my victims because they'll say, Scott, I can't talk to my mom. She will trust the stranger who wants her money over her son or over her daughter. We see this happening over and over and over again because that stranger that wants her money has invested time into his victims. That's why he can convince that victim that you won the lottery. That's how he can convince these victims that you deserve this money that happened out of anywhere, that this is too good to be true, but you deserve it. That's what these scam artists are good at. They are patient, they will listen, and they will build trust to these victims. And that's another thing is seniors may not be technologically advanced. They don't understand that what they read can be fiction. They come from a time where if it's written down, it must be true. If it's in a book, it must be true. They have a business card, it must be true. That's not necessarily so. It is so easy nowadays to give the impression, the illusion that it's a legitimate business. You can go and spend $25 or less to create a website that looks professional, that says, hey, I'm a lottery website, and all you have to do is give us money and you will win. I mean, it's ridiculous. Now, who are these people that are abusing our seniors? Basically, as you can see from this list, it's anybody that comes into contact with seniors. And we've had examples in my 25 years at the prosecutor's office of neighbors, of clergy, of care providers, of these new friends that they met, all coming into a senior's life, all having contact. My own mother-in-law, she will tell me every time she goes to Don Quixote that when she comes, there'll be somebody in the parking lot approaching her, wanting to help her out. Oh, auntie, that seems so heavy to you. That seems so heavy to you and everything. They're trying to befriend her. Again, people have to be careful, especially in big areas like your Costco parking lots, like your big box stores. I hear cases over and over again of people in a parking lot in broad daylight with their guard down. And when it happens with your guard down, what happens? Someone walks by and grabs your purse from your cart. You're looking at your phone, not paying attention, and someone walks by and grabs your purse. Someone walks by and grabs something you purchased. It's happening over and over and over again. And how do these people get away with it? Some of them, we had this group of people in Evil Costco. They'd ride bikes through the parking lot. And then they'd ride up to people, grab their stuff, and ride away, into the housing nearby. We had people at the Costco over in Kapolei. There's a big homeless encampment over across the way. So they run, grab stuff, and then disappear over there. So again, it's easy to get away with things. And one of the things that people understand is a lot of stolen cars are subsequently used for crimes. And so when people say, oh, I got the license plate number, why couldn't they just go and arrest the person? Because oftentimes these criminals, what they'll do is they will steal a car and then make multiple criminal conduct with that car as a getaway vehicle there. But again, going back to this list, you have all these potential abusers that have maybe gambling problems, maybe just greedy, maybe just losers, whatever, but they want the money and they want monies of seniors. Now, we're not going to go through all the list of scams and cons against seniors, but one that we're going to focus on today a little bit is called the advanced fee fraud. Now, in order to understand how people get away with this crime, you have to understand the crime itself. Advanced fee fraud is you're promised something, but before you get that something, you have to pay a fee in advance. Typically, this is the lottery scam, where basically you're told that you won the lottery. But before you get your millions and millions of dollars, what you have to do is you have to pay a fee in advance. And that's what happened to this woman right here. She got this letter saying, congratulations, you won $2 million. And to prove that you won $2 million, we have this gift card, we have this credit card. I took that picture of that credit card. It looks like a legitimate credit card right there. The catch was that she had to pay money to activate the credit card. So initially she had to pay $200 to activate the credit card. She's saying, I'll have to pay us $200, I'll be out $200, but I get $2 million. So I'm gonna go down to the post office, I'm gonna send away my $200 check or cash, and then I'll be able to activate the credit card. Well, guess what happened? What happened next is that they sent her another communication. I forgot it was email or a letter basically saying, oops, we forgot about this fee. So then she sent some more money, and she sent some more money, and she sent some more money. And she told me, said, Scott, this was like playing a slot machine. You know how you almost win at the slot machine? You get the cherry, 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 banana. You think, oh, I almost got it, I almost got it. So that's what she did. She sent away some more money, some more money. Bar, 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 cherry. Oh, almost, almost. So she felt that she was almost about to get this $2 million. And she had this rush of almost getting. But also, she started to invest in this scheme by saying, okay, if I quit now, I won't get any of the money back. So she started chasing her lost money with good money. She started chasing. And at the end of the day, she went to the bank, or she went to the post office 60 times and gave them an excess of $200,000. Okay, I want to go back actually to a little bit more of the advanced fee frauds. Again, like I said before, they can take a variety. The most common is your lottery sweepstakes scams, but also we're seeing a lot of government stimulus package money or CARES money act, saying congratulations, and it'll be like an official letter, congratulations, you've been selected for this special CARES money bonus check. But before we give you this CARES money bonus check, you have to pay taxes on it first. So pay X number of dollars, and then we'll let you cash in this check. And again, people are saying like, gosh, I've heard of stimulus, I've heard of CARES money, so it must be true. And that's what a good scam artist is going to do. It's going to sprinkle what you know with a lot of dishonesty after that. Or another thing we're seeing is your government stimulus package money. And also we're seeing a lot of what's called probate scam, where basically someone will say, I have bad news. Unfortunately, this cousin that you did not know existed had passed away, and he left you in his will. He left you a sizable amount of money. And so I'd like to give you this sizable amount of money, however, you have to pay probate tax first. Saying, okay, how much is it? Oh, I can't give you the exact amount, but I know it's over $100,000. And the probate tax on that is $10,000. Oh, okay, I'll do it, like that. Again, paying that fee in advance for money or a promise of money later on is a fraud. People don't understand that. People don't understand you don't pay taxes first before you get the money. They think, oh, okay, I have to pay taxes on everything. No, you only pay taxes on items you've received already. Okay, we talked a little about this before, And basically you have a lot of crimes that happen in parking lots, in your big box stores. If you go to Lowe's, we don't have Eagle anymore. If you go to Lowe's, if you go to Home Depot, you're gonna have these people approach you saying, oh, uncle, you need help installing that. I'm really good at installing, and it usually costs maybe $2,000. I can do it for $200 right now. You pay me cash. So they'll approach people, especially seniors, in the aisles of these big box stores, in the parking lot of these big box stores, and make you promises. I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. Just the other day, I drove my truck into one of the auto parts stores like that. And a person approached me saying, oh, I can fix it. I can fix your truck. I can fix your truck. And I was looking at my truck saying, it's not that bad. But they wanted to, again, me pay them cash and they'd quote unquote fix it. And the thing is, like, they're not going to give you a guarantee. They're not going to say like, oh, well, you didn't do a good job. No, they'll fix it. And we've had stories of people saying, oh, that dent, I can fix your dent like that in your car, only $100. I can do it right now. And then so, okay, here's $100. I'll take a screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, puncture your car, pull out the dent that way. So no more dent, right? But you got a hole, you got a puka in your car though. So hey, what? You didn't say I couldn't do that. And so again, they do these scams like that. We've seen this happen over and over again. Here you have a senior there, scratching his head, well, yeah, I guess so. Okay, I can't call the police because you did what you told you to do. You fixed the dent. Again, no shame, these guys. This goes right actually into our confidence schemes that we're seeing over and over again, where people with a smile and a hug, like Katie Stereo, what she'll do is befriend seniors, whether it be knocking on the door like Miss Stereo to gain entrance, to have you distract, whether it be knocking on the door with her own child, saying, oh, can she use the bathroom right now? I'm sorry, I apologize, I'll stay out here, you can watch me, we can talk a story like that. My daughter, she's gonna use the bathroom real quick. Just number one, so no make mess. And then the daughter's trained to go into the bedroom and grab, and go. We see this happen over and over and over again. Unfortunately, some of these confidence scam artists are so bold as to enter homes. They'll just walk up to a house, door unlocked. They usually work in pairs, and they just go right into the house. And if someone confronts them, say, oh, I'm sorry, we're lost. This is not Auntie Tutu's house or whatever like that. And they're just good at talking. They're all Portuguese. They're good at talking like that. And it'll distract. Oh, I'm here. Can I get some water? And stuff like that. And the senior gets overwhelmed. That's why we always encourage seniors to lock your front door. Even when you're home, lock your front door. And again, we're going to this confidence schemes, including unlicensed contractors. Everybody in Hawaii loves a deal. Everybody in Hawaii likes the idea of paying cash only for something. And so when someone says, hey, I can do this yard work, I can build this rock wall, I can do your car repair, I can do all this for cash only and get you a good deal like that, it's a scam. Oftentimes it's a scam. Now you might have stories saying, oh, my neighbor, he pays this yard man, he paid the yard man for 20 plus years, and he always does a good job, and it's cash only. Fine, use that yard man. But someone, a stranger, knocks on your door saying, hey, cash only kind, then just be aware and just say no. Just say no. And again, here it's talking about Miss Dara, this is exactly what she did. She befriended a senior, and in the course of 3 days, stole upwards of $134,000 from this gentleman. Okay, and then we've all heard, and it's true, the IRS scam artists, who basically will pose as IRS people. And they'll say, your son, your daughter, you owe money, and we are gonna go ahead and steal from them. Or we're gonna go ahead and arrest them, I apologize. We're gonna go ahead and arrest them if they don't pay that money instantly. Again, these actually happen. As well, these sweetheart swindles are called, where you meet somebody online and you fall in love with this imaginary person online and they take money from you. And we've all heard of the grandma scams, which actually do happen. Every time I give a presentation in a senior home, someone will say, I got one of these calls. Okay, now what we need to do is recognize the warning signs of elder abuse. We're going to go through these really quick. It's going to be isolating the victim. Part of isolating the victim is that way they don't talk to their family about getting good advice. Secrecy. Con artists don't like you spreading the word of the con. So they'll say, shh, this deal is only for you. Urgency. Today only, you can go ahead and I'll give you this extra deal like that. Or emergency tragedies, like, oh my gosh, your son got run over by a car, you need to bail him out or whatever. Paying money with gift cards, loneliness, and deals that are too good to be true oftentimes are. Physical abuse, these are common sense, and these are actually the easiest to prosecute because you have the evidence of physical abuse. Whether it be broken bones, cuts, scrapes, malnutrition, these are all signs of physical abuse. Emotional abuse, when you have someone that's been tormented by their caregiver or their own family, you will see this physical reaction to them, the psychological damage done to them. And unfortunately, we have sex assault as well of seniors. Oftentimes, unfortunately, it happens in care homes. And that's what happened here with Mark Genetiano. He would sexually assault seniors at a care home on Oahu. He basically had up towards 7 victims that he frequently assaulted. And thing is, these victims had severe Alzheimer's. So right after it happened, they didn't know what happened. Right after it happened, they had no idea what happened to them. And he was only caught when he did this and he was witnessed by another caregiver. Prevention. Again, you need to recognize those warning signs that we just went over. Never give personal information to a stranger. Screen your calls. Don't pick up when the phone rings. Let it go to voicemail. Watch the news. The news oftentimes has the latest scams going on right now. Okay, take your car keys, please. Too often I have seniors leaving their car keys in the car or right by the car, by their house, so when a house gets burgled, the keys are easy to find and then the burglar drives away with their car. Don't pay things with a gift card. Whether the IRS says you can pay your fines with a gift card, don't do it. It's a scam. Whether you win the lottery and you can pay off your lottery winnings with a gift card, don't do it. Don't pay for things with gift cards. Lock your doors, please. Chin up, eyes open. Don't be walking around like a millennial with your face down on your screen, being oblivious of everything around you. Because what's going to happen is that someone will take advantage of your distraction. Prevention. Again, locking mailboxes. We have a huge wave going on almost daily of criminals going to empty mailboxes, or going to mailboxes seeing if they're empty or not. If you have a mailbox, keep it locked, or go down to your post office and drop off the mail. Don't rush into deals. Have things sent in writing to you, and shred your mail as well. Again, we do have dumpster divers, especially if you live in a condominium or a hotel where all your mail is going, all your garbage is going to these big bins. You have dumpster divers going in there collecting recyclables. Well, what happens when they find an old checkbook? What happens when they find things that with personal information that they can sell? They're not just going to ignore those. They'll take their bottles, but also they'll take your information as well. Number 1 prevention tip, learn to be rude. We live in the Aloha State. We want to be friendly to everybody. Unfortunately, scam artists take advantage of that. They'll knock on the door, they'll try to gain access because you're so friendly. They'll keep you on the phone for hours building up trust. Again, learn to be rude. You have my permission to be rude to criminals. Thank you very much.